The Swedish players kind of feel entitled in the way that you also said that Sweden has always been represented as one of the greatest nations in Counter-Strike. And as such, people expect to be a great star right off the bat and kind of join already tier 1 team and just be, hey, I'm this good, let me join your team. But people are not fighting together as five and as a team to reach that level together. That's how you're gonna like flourish as individuals as well and eventually get picked up. The quality and I think the grind that the Danish people are doing is what is lacking in Sweden. The Swedish scene hasn't really committed to the lower tier teams in the way that Denmark has, and kind of stuck together and fight and grind. And really fight to reach the top. But I think what Denmark does right is that they nurture and have a lot of actually strong teams in lower tiers that grind their way up towards the higher ends. You have the likes of I don't know, Heroic came from fighting battle in tier 2. They're now a stable, solid top 5 team. I think NFP has is doing something right. The Linus is getting a shot, and he's a young player come from Young Ninjas, and now he's won IM Fall, and that is gonna give some motivations to hopefully younger Swedish people to kind of see that it is possible. You just gotta keep on grinding. Galaxy Racers is also fight. I mean, it's kind of in depth to go all the way through it, but I think at the end of it all, I would just like to see more Swedish team, especially lower tier, stick together for longer than they do, and actually try and grind and make it work. Because I only see that as a way, but people end the projects way too quickly. I know when I started playing Counter-Strike, for example, there was a lot of Swedish pro teams back then, but I still had my own team with four friends, and we kept on grinding. We all had the same goal of kind of reaching lands and just like trying to achieve something. And during that path, we all became really good because we all wanted the same thing, becoming great players and great team. We didn't make it that far, but we did a few upsets as a team, and that was enough to get the recognition of the Swedish Counter-Strike scene. And that's the way we got picked up. And I think that's the way you got to do it as well. You got to grind. It's not up to others to move show you the way. The way is quite clear. You grind and you make good results, and people will notice you. People will notice your team. There's a lot of tournaments you can play right now in Counter-Strike that was not available when I started. So it's very easy, not very easy, but it's not as hard as it used to be to get recognized now as it was back in the day. So just get in there, stick together, make sure you have 4 other people with you that are playing for the same reasons as you. And I'm sure if you work hard, you will start to see results. I think there's a lot of untapped potential or players in Sweden. I think he, for example, has turned out to be a great player. He wasn't really playing in any serious teams. We found him by luck, I would say. You have Jaquinho, who played in Fnatic. But I think the level that, for example, Jaquinho get thrown into a very harsh environment, tier 1, from not really playing anything serious. So he gets thrown in there, kind of like the Young Ninjas players in NIP. They get thrown into tier 1 competition and are to be expected of bringing in the results right off the bat. But I think that grind where you kind of rise at a certain pace and get the feel out for the game is a healthy way of doing it. I think the future for Swedish Counter-Strike is looking brighter than it had in the last few years. There's a lot of upcoming players and names that are starting to pop up within the Swedish scene. So I think it's looking brighter, and it feels like the Swedish scene kind of got reignited again, and see that, hey, we're not so bad after all.